All right, so for this week's video, I recently picked up the Mac tools. It's the AWP 075. It is the 3/4 impact gun from Mac. So this gun retails for $834.99, which I did not pay that for this. This was used off the Mac guy. I picked it up about 2 weeks ago. He had it for about 3 weeks before I decided to get it. It was a trade-in, and he sold it to me for a little less than half price. So you can pick this thing up from Proto, it's basically the exact same thing. The color's just a little bit different. And the Proto price right now is $5.99, and that's through Acme Tools. I will link that one down below. It's got some different colors, but it's identical. So I did some research trying to figure out where this was made or if it was rebranded. Some people on the internet said it was an AirCat rebrand, but the AirCat one, it looks totally different. The trigger mechanism is the same on the AirCat. So my thinking is maybe this is a proprietary thing that's made by AirCat for Mac, which happens a lot, and it's not technically a rebrand because they make a totally different product. One thing that I did like, I forgot to mention I have special guests today helping me. One thing that I do like about it is it has the longer anvil nose, is where I used to have the Snap-on MG1250, and the way that the nose kind of was on the 1250 is like if you were like doing a backhoe tire or something, you needed a lot of room, as where this one, it puts the anvil further back. So I used to not be the biggest fan of these Mac style guns, but the 1/2 inch and the 3/8 are the same, by the way. But I've kind of started to like it where the weight is more back. Like if you pick it up, a lot of the weight is back this way, as where the handle's not right on the back. So that seems to be very handy. So I wanted to talk about why they traded this in. So he said he sold it to an automotive shop. They bought it for a specific job. He never told me what job it was, but they used it twice. They tried it on 2 different cars for the job, and it didn't work. And you could tell this thing's like almost brand new. There's some scratches on it, but it's been riding around on my truck for 2 weeks, so some of that might have been for me. But a lot of this was probably from me. But what they had was this air fitting on there with a swivel. So it's got one of those swivels. I'll put a picture. He took it out. Somebody else wanted it, and I wasn't going to use it anyway. But if you look at this, so granted, this is a high flow air fitting, but look at the restriction on that. And they were using it with a 3/8 line. So it says that it needs to have a 1/2 inch line. So I think that's why they had the problem with it, was this plus the swivel. How much does that take down? So this is what I got for it. This is what I'm going to use with it. It's still 3/8 NPT, but then there's no restriction on it, and it's for a 1/2 inch airline. I think it's a Type G, if anybody cares, but that's what I have on my truck, so that's what I'm going to use it for. But I wanted to kind of show too so I kind of wanted to compare it to this gun here. This is the Milwaukee. It's the high torque. Does it have a model number? Yes, it does. 2967-20. So I was gonna kind of halfway compare it to this. So this 3/4 Mac gun, it is 750 blows per minute. It's, let's see, where'd the other thing go that I had? 1,560 foot-pounds of breakaway torque. But if you compare it to, and then it also weighs 8.4 pounds. That's what I was going to say. But then if you compare it to this one, this Milwaukee gun they're claiming 1,600 foot-pounds of torque, and this thing weighs, 5.9 pounds. And I don't know if that's with the battery or not. But they're saying this has 1,600 foot-pounds, which is technically true, but not. So 1,600 foot-pounds if you have the forged battery, which I don't have the forged batteries. They're like $300. So with the XC 5.0 battery, which is what this one has, this only has like 1,200 foot-pounds. So this still has more torque. And then plus, so back to the rear backhoe tires, this will take rear backhoe tires off. I've done it a few times, but it kind of struggles. And then two, the way I think that at least I still want a 3/4 gun or some kind of an air gun, is when you really are working on something and you really got a hammer on it, as long as you have a good enough air compressor, this thing doesn't have any issues. It'll constantly keep the power, as where these kind of can up and down with the power. I know that you're not supposed to with the lithium batteries, but it does it anyway. So I think this was a good idea. I honestly probably wouldn't pay $830 for this. I probably honestly wouldn't even pay $599 for this, which is what the Proto one goes. But if you could find a used one, look on eBay, you know, talk to your Mac guy. If you can get it, you know, $400 or less, I would say it's probably worth it. All right, well, thanks for watching the video. You know, like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube algorithm stuff would be much appreciated. Thank you.